and I think this guy is my new camping companion. So for you people that like to go camping out in the woods, that like to go boondocking out off-grid, tent camping, RV camping, whatever you got going on, I think this is a great solution. If you need a home battery backup for your house, for like, let's say, to power your modem, your maybe a small fan, your lights, keep your phones topped off, just a heated blanket, I think this would be perfect. YouTube, hey, how's it going? Hey, thanks for tuning into a brand new adventure with Adventuring Art. Today, I have something very, very special I've been wanting to share with you, and I've been holding on to this for just the right occasion, and I think now is the time. What might that be? Well, stay tuned to find out what lies inside of this box on a new Adventuring Art product reviews.
Adventuring Art's product reviews.
All right, so I'm here in the backyard, so you may hear a little bit of backyard ambiance of kids playing, construction going on, people shoveling rocks. I mean, there's just things going on left and right all around me. No big deal. First off, I'm excited to announce that Bluetti has actually seen one of my videos of one of my previous reviews, and they really enjoyed it. So they reached out to me and shot me an email, and they've asked if I would like to partner up with them in reviewing their products from time to time. They sent me this unit. I did pay for this at a discounted price. This is my discounted device that I'm going to be happy to share with you today. So what might this be, pray tell? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's go ahead and get to the unboxing. So let's begin. All right, so we're going to go ahead and begin the unboxing here. So this is how the package came to me. As I look around it, to this side up here, looking at the front, it's got some information on the box. Looking at the side, it's got my address information, which I will hide. But all right, so it's got batteries in it. It's got a number 9 on it. It's the EB70 gray black one piece. So Bluetti has this new device out here called the EB70. It is a power station. I will throw up some of the specs here on the screen, and we will go over those together shortly. So let's go ahead and unbox. So as I'm unboxing this, the tape is nicely sealed. The box came in really good condition. As I open it up here, this is what I see on the inside. It says you got an EB70, steel gray, 110 volts. As I open this up here, go ahead and take it out of the box. It's a box in a box. Oh yeah. All right, set that guy to the side. Set this up here. All right, let's look at this box. So made in China, steel gray, 110 volts. As I look here, a little bit about the box, pictures for only reference, kind of get an idea of what we're about to look at here on the inside. And on this side, it says made for family, office, travel, camping, business, medical, disaster, and school. I can relate to several of these items. And then over here are your tech specs. It's the model number, your total capacity, 716 watt hours. Battery type is, it's a lithium iron phosphate, not lithium ion. It's actually LiFePO4, lithium iron phosphate 4. So we got a mislabel here. I'll be sure to let Bluetti know about that. Your input wattage or voltage is going to be 12 volt or 28 volt. It can accept up to 200 watts. Your rated power is 700 watts with a surge power of 1400 watts, which is incredible. The AC output power, you got 100, looks like a 100 to 120 volts, or up to 220, 240 volts with between 50 and 60 hertz, or 700 watts total. You've got two USB-A ports, two USB-C ports, a cigarette light port, DC 5521 output, which is going to be your, I believe that's your CPAP, basically small ports where you can get a portable cigarette lighter adapter. You can plug into one of those to have an expanded one. Wireless charging pad on top. Here's the discharging temperature, like your thresholds. It's obviously in Celsius, and then your working humidity. Probably don't want to operate this in 100% or in the fog. All right, let's open it up. Ooh, that didn't want to open. Not going to happen. So I'm going to do that. Okay, let's go ahead and open it up here. And as I open up, we are going to see very nicely packaged. This level of cardboard, I can tell, is very, very thick. It's very well protected. You've got your Bluetti manual. Bluetti, let's see. You've got your Bluetti manual. Inside the Bluetti manual, let's see what we got in here. Oh, something else. Keep power station out of direct sunlight. Here's your certificate. It did pass QA and QC. Let's hope they did a good job. Your safety instructions, a little bit more about the general specs, some of your common loads and how much time. This is kind of helpful information, like a slow cooker is around 2 to 3 hours at 200 watts. All this is super helpful information to have. Really good. Let's keep it, hang on to that. All right, and then on this guy here, more about the warranty. I guess you could fill out this information for your warranty information, or if you have to do a return. Set this stuff to the side. Now let's dive in. Right here is a box. It's a big box to the side, and let's look at little box. And as I open up little box here, we've got cables. We've got our power brick. Power brick. There it is. Kind of large. It's like about a palm and a half. It does have a standard, like a round barrel plug. And then you've got this one plug that'll plug in here. And then it's a 2-prong adapter that'll plug into your wall. And then additional types of charging methods. You can charge over DC, which is just your standard car charger. Probably about 100 watts is what I would assume through your car. And then you've got your solar connectors to connect your solar panels. Got some Velcro to keep these things all tied together, nice and neat. And then we've got one box out of the way. One thing I would have liked, and it may be inside the package, is a carrying case. I would love to see a little bag to keep all those cables in, but I know my AC200P came with one, but that's a much more expensive unit. To keep this under budget, I'm guessing they didn't ship it with one. So let's pull it out. Oh yeah, not too heavy. Compared to the AC200P, nothing else left in the box. You got some foam, nothing under the foam. Foam is what's left. Setting that down. All right, let's go ahead and open up the this bag here and take this big guy out. So one-handed, it's a little heavy. Not terrible, but all right. So just my initial impressions is, just looking at the size of this, I am loving this size. This is perfect. It's like a large lunch pail. Got a great handle, feels sturdy. It's got a nice, let's look at that handle real quick before we look at it. You got a nice thick rubber layer up underneath this. Now it may be hard to capture that and feel it, but it's very grippy. So it feels like it's just not gonna fly open or fall out of your hand very easily. You have, start with the back. Let's save the best for last. You got some of the specs that we kind of reviewed on the side of the box. And on this side, you have a vent for your fan to intake. And then you've got your outtake of the cool or warmed up air is going to come out the other side whenever the fan kicks on. All right, underneath, you've got rubber feet. So rubber feet that feel nice and sturdy. It's my serial number. And then now what you've all been waiting for is the front. All right, so looking at the front here, you've got your power on, your USB-C or your PD, which is, I believe that stands for power delivery, up to 100 watts per port. Your Dinosaur 5-volt 3A ports, your 12-volt 10-amp ports. This is where you're going to put your charging cable. So when you have your charging brick, you're going to plug it in right here. And this is how you'll charge up your power station. And this is your display, your cigarette lighter or cigarette lighter adapter. You know, now obviously you're not going to plug this in here, but you could put in either additional USBs, a heated power blanket or heated blanket. You could do a portable refrigerator, just plug it straight in here to DC power. So this power is going to turn on the DC side of things. This power is going to turn on the AC, which is just your standard 110 typical receptacles. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, capable of supplying 700 watts amongst all 4 ports. And that's not 700 per port at the same time, 700 total. So you can do what, like 200, 200, 200, and then 100. That would get you 700. This is your light. Pressing and holding here will turn your light on. And I can see I've got some power on the unit. I just actually did that and it kicked on. Let's go ahead and turn on one of these sides. Let's start with the AC power. My guess? Okay, it's got 60% of charge on it. I've got the AC, it's kind of hard to see it. If I cup my hands, you might be able to see it a little bit. The green light is on. Same thing, I can now turn on both the AC side, the DC side, AC, DC, back on. And I've got the light. Woo, that's bright. That is blinding. It's hard to... Okay, so you've got the way the light functions. I'm learning with this with you folks on the fly. You've got on, bright, SOS, and then off. I didn't want you to see the SOS because I don't want people with problems with light sensitivity to get blinded. And then yeah, so just initial impressions. It looks very sturdy. All right, so let's go ahead and test out the, so it's just on AC power, so I see the green light is on, so it still shows that I'm powered. I'm gonna set my phone on here, let's see if it charges it. Wait a minute, goofball. DC is on, let's turn DC off. Okay, DC is off. Now let's try that again. Okay, that's what I was expecting. So if you have the DC power off, it will not charge the phone. Now I'm gonna turn off the AC power. And I'm going to turn on the DC power. Oh, it did it. It was just slow. So I've got the charge marker, so it shows that it's charging. Okay, so it also has to find the sweet spot. Okay, so I have the iPhone 12 Pro Max with the charging ring. I thought I had it centered right there, but maybe I didn't. So it's not charging. Let's test that out again. Nope. See, so it didn't automatically charge. So if I shift it a little to the left, there it goes. Okay, so you guys saw that, right? If I come down a little bit and then I tap the screen, it stops charging. Shift to the left, it's charging. All right, don't need to know about Roborock. Go a little further up, is it still charging? Looks like it is. So just be aware that it's not perfect, but it definitely does work. All right. Okay, so that's a little bit of just initial kind of first out of the box review, and let's do some stress testing. All right, now we're back in the office and now it's time to finish up the stress testing of the Bluetti EB70. Notice I said Bluetti, not Blue Yeti. But now we're gonna actually do a little bit of stress testing. So the first test I wanna do is, can I run everything in my office except for the air conditioner, which runs, that pulls 1300 watts continuous. I already know it's not going to handle that. Now my Bluetti AC200P, link down in the description below, can pull up to 2000 watts at a given point. Works great. It can run that for about maybe an hour and a half if I'm lucky. This guy here, you know, you're talking 700 watts ish. So I would not expect that to even fire up. Maybe if I had it just on fan mode on the air conditioner, then it might run it. But other than that, now, but I would like to see my office. Now I know my office pulls about 350 to 400 watts. It's a very power hungry office. So we're gonna go ahead and switch everything over here to the EB70. I'm gonna plug in using just one plug into this one outlet. I'm gonna pull all 400 watts-ish out of here. And it's gonna tell you how much my office is pulling. So let's take a look. Lights went dim. So now my extension cord is not gonna reach. So we're gonna have to get creative here. All right. How am I gonna do this? I need your help. I need a small extension cord. All right, problem solved. Found the extension cord. All right, here we go. Whole office. All right, so make sure you got a good angle. Can you see it? Let me know if you can't see it. All right, now can you see it? Okay, here we go. So, AC power on. Let's go ahead and turn the DC power off. Don't necessarily need that now. We're going to pull my whole office through this one plug. Woo! Here it comes, 71, 116, 302. Seems like it's doing okay. I'm not seeing any problems. I mean, all the displays lighting up. It shows that 294 watts are leaving it now, so 300 watts. It's a 700 watt unit. My printer's even doing something. Using MacBook computer, using USB-C to USB-C, and I want to see if it will charge the MacBook just like this. 41 watts. I'm going to go ahead and open up the screen on the MacBook. 62 watts. 59. Yeah, it shows my MacBook that it's charging, and yeah, see, it's on. There we go. It looks good. It's leveled off to 25 watts, and yeah, so definitely can charge a MacBook. You don't need to have the big power brick, which is nice, that I can just plug it straight into here and know that I'll get up to 100 watts out of these ports using DC power. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to have this, see if I can use this guy to charge the big power station to see if it will top it up. Let me know what your thoughts are. Do you think it'll work? Here comes 61, 512, 500, 501. Okay, and I'm showing that I got an inbound charge of 452. So the AC200P, so the output to the input of here, I know it's a little difficult to see. Let me come over here. All right, so you got 500 watts there. And on the AC200P, you got 453 coming in. So there's a little bit of a loss in conversion. My office is pulling 311. So I know if I were to have had both plugged in, it would just overload it. It would be too much for it to handle. We know that this little guy here can charge the big guy and top it off. I could drain. Now there's a little bit of loss, so ideally, you know, if you're in my situation, you had both devices, that 50 watt loss is to me is unacceptable. As far as if you want to keep this guy always topped off, it's probably not the best route of going because you do have a little bit of loss. Run the devices you need to run off of this for what it's for, and then run devices off of this for what it's for. So that way you don't have that conversion. So it's and that's typical. Whenever there's in this inverter, you know, there's some power that's lost, and then it's got to pass through cables, and it's got to come over into this other device, and it loses power just a little bit. Typically, it's normal. But the fact it is outputting 500, 503 without any hiccups, no issues. It didn't phase out. It didn't flicker. That just stands to the quality of Bluetti. They make a really good quality product. I've never had any issues with mine. I'm very happy with the big AC200P. What I envision myself using this unit for is I will probably charge my phone wirelessly on top at night. I'll plug in maybe my iPad, my drone, my camera batteries. I'll also plug in the cigarette lighter. I'll charge my refrigerator, my Alpacool refrigerator. Over here on the plug outlets, I'll have maybe I can hook up a cooktop or a griddle that uses under 700 watts, maybe a small cooktop or an induction burner, but it has to be small enough to not surpass that 700 watt. Now it does have a surge load. The difference between surge capacity and running capacity, a surge, like like my air conditioner, when it kicks on, it probably pulls about 1800 watts initially, and then it dips down to about 1200 to 1300. Same thing with microwaves. Like with a microwave that's rated at 700 watts, which I have one of those, it jumps up to about 1300 and then dips back down to about 700, 650, 700. So having that quick surge, it can handle it just for a very short amount of time, maybe 1 to 3 seconds, something for just a very short amount of time, but it's only intended for that however many watts, 700 watt capacity that it's at. But yeah, all the little features on it, the flashlight, it's fantastic there. I'm really happy with it. I'm happy with the weight. I see how powerful it is. I see that it's basically running my office at this point. I'm excited to announce that there is a sale going on with Bluetti. They have lowered the price to $4.99 for the month of May. Now, whether they'll extend that out or you can find coupons or things like that later on, that's quite potential. It's quite possible. But as of the making of this video, if you go onto their website using my link below, it'll take you straight into their portal, and you can get this for basically $100 off for a total of $4.99. Now I know that $499 is not a small number to balk at, whereas I paid $18.99 I believe for the large one. But typically the way these things sell are they're about $1 a watt. So Bluetti's always came in cheaper, under that watt per dollar amount. If you look at Jackery, or if you look at any of the competition that's out there, it's typically any one of the makers that are actually reputable. They're charging close to $1 a watt. This right here, the fact that it's what is it, 700 plus watts, the fact that it's $499 right now, you really can't beat that. You can't find, especially, I would call this, I would go on a limb, this is like the Mercedes-Benz of power stations. If you've watched any power station review, you know Bluetti is the power station, the premium one of choice. That's the one you want to go for. Most people have to settle for less. The neat thing about this channel is I'm not just hearsay. I don't just review these things and ship them back or return them. You'll see my past videos where I used the AC200P and I reviewed it, and then you can see it on my adventures and my camping adventures where I've taken it with me. I take it out camping, I take it to the beach, I take it everywhere. Would I use this as a UPS, uninterrupted power system? No, I would not use it as UPS. Not in this office. Why? Because I'll show you why. What I want to show you is how many watts now does it actually charge at. So that's important, because if my office pulls more than this can receive in a charge, then eventually I will outrun the charge, right? My office pulls 300 and it only charges at 50. Well, I'm not saying it charges at 50. But let me plug this in, and we are going to see how many watts does it charge at using your standard home wall power. And I'm going to plug this into the other Bluetti right here, the AC200P Bluetti, and I'm going to plug this in. Now, I don't know if you can hear that. Let me get it closer to the mic. Hear the fan? Yep. You can kind of hear it there. Yep. So it's not completely silent, but it does make a little noise. It's not terrible. It's quieter than the AC200P. So if you're wanting a comparison. All right. So I'm plugging it in. It's now getting. Wait for it. 159. 192. It says it's from the wall. It says it's drawing 227 from. So 227 up here. It's kind of hard to read it, but I can see it. 227, 228, and here it says 192. So it's a 200 watt inverter. So think about this logically. If this uses 200, my office uses almost 350. Eventually, it'll pull from the battery for a period of time. But it's going to be running. This little fan is going to be running nonstop. You want to try something dorky? This is so stupid. I'm so dumb. I do stupid things, right? All right, I want to test. The Bluetti AC200P is charging the EB70 right now. Can the EB7 charge the AC200P while the EB70 is being charged by the AC200P?
Strike that. Reverse it.
You get what I'm going, right? I'm just curious. What would happen? Would it just blow up? Well, you'll be my witness. I want to do this because I want to hear how loud the fan is. I want to compare the two fans. Well, let's do that. Let's do that. All right, and I'm going to plug it in. I got to unplug the office because I know it's going to be too much. Let me turn on my light so you guys can actually. Well, I think you guys can see what's going on.
The suspense is terrible.
He's gonna go this time.
I hope it'll last.
Alright. Is it doing anything? Oh, it unplugged, sorry. It unplugged. Let's do this again. Here we go. Maybe that was a warning or a sign. Get out of here. Oh my goodness. There we go. 500 watts going out. 187 coming in. Over here you got 446 watts coming in. 215 going out. So these guys are just feeding each other, you know. I could probably just let these two run and self-fulfill themselves for the next 24 hours. You know, they'll probably just continuously go back and forth. But I want you to hear what I did this for is I wanted you to hear the fan noise. Here we go. Hear that. Hear that? Here's this side. Okay, so use that as a reference point. I'm putting it. Hear that? That's the fan side. Okay. That's the AC200P. Now let's listen to the EB70s. Here we go, EB70. You know what? This one, the EB70, makes a little bit lighter of a noise, like a higher pitched, but about the same volume level as the AC200P. The AC200P is a little bit deeper of a sound. But there you have it. It'll charge it. It'll keep my office running. They'll charge each other. They'll just keep going back and forth. Who the hell would do that? I would, right? I'm the guy. So, all right. I'm done dorking up here. That's me nerding out. So, thanks for humoring me and joining my dork out session. I appreciate you tuning into today's video. You're hearing things beeping. My UPS is saying plug me back in. I can't last very long, but I'm in my office is dark right now because I haven't plugged it in yet. Thank you for tuning in to today's video. Please be sure to give it a like. If you like this video, if you like dorky content like this, make sure you subscribe. I create a lot of fun things, funny, goofy types of reviews like these. And then I love to do outdoor adventures. I'd love to invite you along for the trip so we can take these guys out in the wilderness, and I'll see you on the next adventure. Later, folks. Look at baby brother, big brother, baby brother, big brother. It's like it's like Bluetti popped out a baby and it made a wonderful blue, black. Well, you're black, blue, baby child, Bluetti child, Blue Yeti child. You're great. You're a great little unit. Look at that. Oh! Blinded by the light. I can't see. Help me. There we go. I'm done. Whew. Seeing spots now. Oh, by the way, did you happen to notice my shirt? Pretty cool, huh? Pluto. Never forget. 1930 through 2006. Pluto. Never forget. Rock on, Pluto. You'll always be a real planet to me.